everyone, today we're going to check out the Jetboil MiniMo. It is a great choice for backpackers looking to cook directly in the pot and also boil water really quickly. If you're new to the channel, my name is Roxy and I'm part of the Adventure Junkies team. We help people like you choose the right gear to get outdoors. If you want to learn more, go ahead and visit www.theadventurejunkies.com. Now, what you really came for, the Jetboil MiniMo, which personally I think is the cutest name I've ever heard. All right, let's unbox this and see what's inside. All right, so right off the bat, we have got, let's put this to the side, this top lid, which has the pot stabilizer nested inside of it, and then it also has a drinking spout and a strainer for making pasta. And as we go in, we have a pot stabilizer, which is great that it comes with this. Some other Jetboils do not include this. Some instructions. We've got a bag. And inside this is the fuel portion of the Jetboil. All right, here we go. So this is what the Jetboil is going to sit on. Here is the igniter with a little bit of a concave area for the burners and the fuel knob down here to control the fuel. Moving on to the actual Jetboil cup, we have two handles here, which are also insulated so you can hold the Jetboil while eating or boiling, and then a cup here, which also has measurements. We have milliliters and ounces, so you can measure directly in the cup and then pour. The Jetboil functions with isobutane and is said to be fuel regulated down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit, which is really nice, but might not be so great for deep winter camping. So if you're going below freezing, this might not be the system for you. It was designed in the US, but made in China, and retails for $149.95, so about $150, which feels a little pricey compared to the other Jetboils on the market, but you do get this nice big wide cup, which is its biggest feature, which means you can cook directly in here and then use a spoon, which I will grab, and you can see how the spoon just fits more nicely in this wider area as opposed to other Jetboils with a skinnier cup. This Jetboil weighs 14.6 ounces, which is 415 grams, and it is about 5 by 6 inches, which is 12.7 by 15.25 centimeters. So it is sort of an odd shaped Jetboil compared to a lot of the other ones, but that allows for the spoon to sit right in there and you can get all the way to the bottom. It makes it a little harder to pack itself in a backpack because it has more of a rounder shape, so it doesn't just fit in a side pocket or sort of slide down next to a sleeping bag or sleeping pad. So you might have a little bit more trouble puzzle piecing this into your pack. This Jetboil has a few great features just right off the bat. It's a piezo igniter, which is this piece over here. So you do not need a lighter to work this Jetboil, which is really nice. It's more self-contained. You don't have to remember one extra thing. Other features of this pot include the regulator valve, which is right here. And this requires 4 full spins to open the fuel all the way up, which means you get a really, really nice simmer control. So you can only do 1 spin and have a really nice light flame, or go all the way up if you're boiling water. So that makes cooking in this large pot nice. You can scramble eggs, and you can also just boil some water really quickly for coffee or your dehydrated meals. The capacity of this pot is 1 full liter or 33.8 fluid ounces. It is nice that this is compatible with some of the other Jetboil accessories like the Grande coffee press. Just you need to make sure you're getting the right accessories when you purchase those for the wider mouth that'll fit down in there. So one of the things about the packability with this MiniMo is you have to choose between your pot stabilizer or your 100 milliliter canister. You cannot fit both inside with this piece all together. Trust me, I tried for a while. So What you can do is you can do one or the other. The fuel stabilizer will always fit right under here. So you can pack both in here sideways, and then the cap will go on with the cup, or you can pack these two together down in there with the top. And it is nice to use the bag when you're packing it like this so it doesn't rattle around in your pack. And it's nice that they include that cloth bag for you. So there are two ways to pack it. It's sort of a setting you have to choose between either your fuel canister or your pot stabilizer. I brought out this bigger fuel canister for our testing, but it is nice to travel with these smaller ones. So you got to pick and choose when you're packing in the MiniMo. Oftentimes the pot stabilizer will not come with the Jetboil, so it's not really a problem. You're just packing the 100 milliliter down in there anyways. But this one, you do have a choice, and you can make that decision before you leave, or just stuff this in a pocket somewhere, or keep your fuel separate, so sort of plan before you leave on your trip. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and hit the like button so more people like you can find it. Alright, so I grabbed some water so we can do a boil test and a demo. So let's set the stove up. This is just a dummy fuel. We'll put this over here. Here is our isobutane. We're going to make sure this clip is flipped out. We're going to pull off the fuel stabilizer from the top. Flip these out. Clip this in. Twist this on. You're going to hear some of the fuel release. So here is our system set up without the pot. And let's turn it on and see how it goes, and then we'll do a boil test. So I'm going to do 2 cups of water in here. There is also measuring inside the Jetboil. So this slips on. You'll see these notches around, so you'll go and fit it into a notch, and then it'll twist. It does say on the side of the Jetboil to light it first, so we'll do that real quick and talk about how easy that goes. So I'm opening up the fuel till I hear it, pushing on, and we're lit. Turn it down a bit, put this guy on top. So we can open it all the way up. Gets a little loud. It's all the way open until it stops. But then you can pull it back down. Oh, that's great that there's so many spins. You can really control how that fuel comes out. So let this cool off before our boil test to make sure everything starts out at outside temperature. It's, I would say, very little breeze today, and maybe around 35 degrees, so we'll see how fast that boils. The average boil time they claim is 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's usually at sea level. We're at 8,000 feet here, so we might get a little bit longer. That's expected. This MiniMo will use an 100-gram canister, which is this size, 60 minutes, or it'll boil 2 cups, which we have in here, 24 times. So that's a good way to figure out how much fuel you're going to need when you're backpacking, how much coffee you have, how many dehydrated meals, sort of use that as a metric to begin. All right, let's do a boil test. So we got it at 1:55 boil time, which is faster than their claimed boil time for the MiniMo, which is awesome. So it really does boil super fast. I don't know if you can see, but there's still steam coming out. I started a timer again when it got turned off to see how long it takes to cool down. This is still pretty hot. Our timer is now at around 8 minutes, and I'd say it is warm to the touch. I would be comfortable putting this away. Let's pack it on down. I'm gonna grab the cloth sleeve. Just placing this pot stabilizer right in there can give you some scratches on the bottom there, so you wanna make sure you protect the inside portion of the Jetboil. So this little sleeve is super important for protecting the Jetboil on the inside. Also, you don't want to ever pack it down when it's wet. You can trap moisture in there. We are just going to pack it down for show's sake. Alright, so still warm to the touch, but I feel safe packing it down. So this time we'll pack it with the pot stabilizer. And this guy, I'll grab this off. So this snaps right into the bottom of the top, flat side to flat side. This pin folds back. Slip it into the bag and with the pot stabilizer. These go inside. This goes right on top. Cup goes on the bottom. Just as a recap of this awesome little stove, first off, I'm really impressed with that boil time. We have not had a stove that's been faster than the advertised boil time since we've been testing stoves, so that's really great. And we're at 8,000 feet. I'm sure they did their tests at sea level. The weight of the MiniMo is 14.6 ounces or 516 grams, so it's not a super lightweight stove, but I wouldn't say it's a huge stove to be putting in your backpack, just under a pound, which is pretty nice for a cooking system that has such a great simmer on it. It has a 1 liter capacity in this, so you can cook probably for 1 to 2 people. 3 people might be a stretch if you're taking this backpacking, but you could take turns because that boil time is so fast, so you can rotate out whoever needs hot water. It is 5 by 6 inches, 12.5 by 15.5 centimeters-ish, which makes it sort of like a round, it's like a square type thing to fit in your pack, so a little bit awkward to pack it up. Not like the other Jetboils that end up being a skinnier cylinder, more like a Nalgene that's easier to slide in next to your sleeping mat or your sleeping bag or something. This one is gonna take up a little bit more awkward space and won't stuff right down into a cup holder, one of the larger cup holders on your backpacking backpacks. Once again, Jetboil claimed a 2-minute and 15-second boil time on this MiniMo, and we got a 1minute and 55 seconds for 2 cups of water at 8,000 feet. Definitely no breeze. They do have this system under here, which if it were breezy, it helps block the wind, so it does still function in wind. We might have to try that out later with a more windy condition. The other part of this Jetboil that I really like is the valve spindle, which makes it really sensitive how much fuel is letting into the system, so you can get this nice, really low simmer for eggs or maybe melting butter instead of just burning it off, or you can get that really fast boil, opening it all the way up, doing those 4 full spins to get all the way open, get a really nice fast boil time. I'd say a few of the cons are how bulky it is, such a weird size, and that it comes with this pot support, which is really nice, but you can't pack the pot support and the fuel, 100-gram fuel, at the same time. So you got to pick which one. You're either cooking only with this or with a pan, or you're putting this somewhere else so it's not together. And almost all the Jetboil systems come as this nice compact little can that you can stick in. So this, you have extra pieces sort of floating around, which is not my favorite when I'm trying to backpack and be super organized and keep everything in one place. This MiniMo stove is best for 1 to 2 backpackers that want to cook a meal directly in the stove and eat it out. Oh, I brought a spoon so we can sort of take a look. It dips down really far in there, but you have a better ability to eat directly out of it, unlike the other Jetboils that are skinnier and it's harder to sort of scrape along the edge or get to the bottom. So it's really great for someone that wants to cook directly in here or boil water really quickly, which it does phenomenally well. That is the Jetboil MiniMo, which is still the cutest name of any backpacking stove I have come across. Happy cooking! Hey everyone, I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you have ever wasted money on gear in the past or just don't know what gear to buy, I really want to recommend this book. It's called The Beginner's Guide to Hiking Gear, and it has breakdowns and explanations of all the gear you'll need to get safely outside. It's organized into gender, size, weight, what type of hike you'll need it for, and it's really helpful for any beginner out there or even someone who's more advanced but wants more suggestions on how to enjoy your time outside. You can buy it at Amazon and it's available in both paperback and Kindle. Go ahead and click the link below in the description and check it out. You cannot fit both inside with this piece all together. Trust me, I tried for a while. All right, so we got about a minute. Henry, out.